Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Comfort Zone. I'm James English. This is Gerren the co-host. We are excited to be with you today. We have what we think is a good conversation that is relevant to the times we're living in. And so we're gonna unpack that. But first and foremost, Rob, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Glad to be here.
Okay, glad to be here. Yeah. I'm doing well too. Always noise happening in life, but these moments are what they are. Stay in them. And we hope you enjoy this conversation today. Yeah. All right. So why are you here today? We are going to explore the other side of, let's call the manosphere culture, red pill culture. I don't know what words you want to use. But, you know, it speaks to a generation that's slightly younger than Gerren and I, just demographically, I think for the most part. You know, we know who we are. We've kind of figured that out. And so we kind of look at that whole movement. I'll give it some credit, the whole movement. And we had some thoughts. So we figured today we would lean in and talk about how we kind of break that down and how what's our counter response to that. And when I say counter response, I'm not talking about brick by brick taking apart the psychology. That's not what if you dialed in for that, you dialed into the wrong episode. We're talking about the counter to the narrative that mindset creates, which is there's this idea of strength and weakness in men. And depending on certain things, you fall into this camp, and depending on other things, you fall into this camp. And we want to help create that counter narrative today in a way that we hope you'll engage with, because there's an absolute action for you to take using social media to help us start a new narrative that we will share with you very soon. So Gerren, I'm probably less connected to pop culture than you are. You're on TikTok and stuff, man. Dude. I'm not there. Come on. So what is your understanding of the manosphere culture?
Listen, what do you know? Man, listen, I only learned about that thing like for real by you telling me to watch it on Netflix. Okay. I didn't fully understand what these guys are doing. I mean, I've heard it in the background, it's like background noise. I try not to tap into some of that stuff because it doesn't resonate with me, man. So it doesn't show up on my radar, right? Not in my algorithm. I just deal with it in the background noise, man.
Correct. Yeah. So not in my algorithm either. Lots of other things are. That is not.
Yeah.
So my observation, and by the way, there's a documentary on Netflix, I think called The Manosphere. Yeah. And it was done by a documentarian who went into the lives of a few people that are prominent in the culture, and really just broke down, documentary style, kind of their life and their focus and, their thoughts on it and how they spend their time and energy. Really cool. And I sat there and a couple of things really jumped out at me, which is first and foremost, the pressure and the feeling to feel like you've got it figured out and promote that you have it figured out at such a young age. Yeah. These cats were young, man, in their 20s. And they're out here proclaiming that they have figured the cheat code. They understand the matrix. I mean, they're saying all these things. And it just struck me as, man, when I was in my early 20s, dude, I knew I didn't know nothing. Yeah. And I'm out here trying to figure out life. These guys are they're feeling the pressure through this movement that not only do they have to have it all together, but then they got to show all the evidence that they have it all together. Like what's your response to that?
It's a lot of pressure, man. It's a lot of pressure. And what they consider a success, clearly is something it's monetarily, right? So it's money, right?
Money and other things.
Yeah. Cars and all of this, right. If you got a penthouse overlooking something.
Correct.
All these things. And I'm not saying that they're bad. It's just so heavy to have to show every single day, James. You're talking about your audience is clamoring for more information. Show me again. And you got to show them something different, brother.
So yes, there's the pressure. Let me say it this way. So the irony of this is the social media aspect of this is so strong, meaning the pressure to convince other people that you have it together is truly the validation that you have it together. And it's completely external validation.
Yep.
So what I saw was guys relentlessly obsessed with their physical appearance, right? So they're in the gym all the time. Yeah. They're in the mirror flexing. You know, they're trying to eat right, and all of those things are good. Sure. And so the irony of this is some of the things that are part of this are good. I was listening to a podcast. I think it was with Hassan Minhaj and Ryan Holiday, I think, and the title of the podcast, or one of the themes of the podcast, was why do so many people in the manosphere love Stoic philosophy, which you know is one of the philosophies I really connect with. Yep. And part of it is because it basically tells you that within yourself is greatness, and you just need to, do these things and accept these things, and it will lead to a more fulfilling life. Like that's one of the core tenets of it. And so if you have a mind that's not quite geared into the core and spirit of it, which is, the discipline and all the other things that come with that, you misapply those principles, you can find yourself down a road where you think you've done the right thing and focused on the right thing, but now you're down a spiral, man, that has no bottom.
Yeah. It's interesting that when you start, I do follow on TikTok, right? So when you go down into the comments and you start seeing these guys mentioning some of these books that I know that you've read before, the words that are coming out of their mouth, it doesn't match, right? It doesn't match. It's kind of like half watered down or something, and I know everybody has different experiences. So you may read this book and you pull something, I'll read it and pull something.
Correct.
But man, they make these Stoic books seem really, really just wishy-washy. Just
So remember, we talked a long time ago. There was, when people ask me for a book recommendation, very often I'll be like, nah. And you just said why. You just talk. So remember, you're like, James, why? Yeah. You just articulated why. Yeah. Because it's like it's a weapon. And how are you going to use the weapon? Are you going to use it to better yourself and use it on to cut the unnecessary things out and allow the good stuff to grow, or are you going to use it to become a tool? Right? Are you going to use it to step on people and feel like you are mentally superior to people? Because that can be a byproduct of this. Because I understand the mastery of self, and I understand how to get and manipulate and do this and this, it can be powerful stuff. Yeah. How you use it matters.
It does. I respect those books so much, because I remember sometimes you would drop some things into our group chat. And I'm like, yo, that's some powerful stuff. And sometimes you give a picture of the page, and I'm clicking the page to try to zoom in, what book is this? And you wouldn't tell us the book, right? Now that could be you being very selfish, right?
Which is what I was accused of.
Okay. Yeah. Right. or recognizing where we are on our journey and recognizing that it's not time yet. Right. Or when it's time for this book, it'll show up naturally. Right. And I have been here in the studio where the books are, and I haven't picked them up like that. So I know that I'm doing the work, but this is a whole different kind of work. Right. So I agree with you.
It raises the level of personal accountability to a place that will either bring the best or worst out of you.
Yes.
And what this kind of culture right now is doing is creating a unrealistic expectation that a man in his 20s needs to be in the peak of physical health, in the peak of mental health, business, crushing it. He should be retired at 27. And if he's not, he's bought into the economic, the capitalistic and control. He took the wrong pill, right? He's not, if he doesn't have 7 women, all who are models.
Yeah.
He's not, his prowess has not fully matured, right? There's all these expectations, man, that this puts on it. And it's because the social media that has come behind this has set this picture, right? Or this imagery of people having a good time. And one of the things I appreciated about that documentary was that it showed what happens when the cameras were off. Yeah. It's amazing how security on camera swings to insecurity literally in the span of a second, whether it's the camera goes off and now everybody's walking around the house not knowing what to do next because all they do is film content, or it's a question they didn't expect to get from the documentarian.
Yeah, not only that, man, there's no depth to anything else. You ask them a question, they don't even know how to answer if it doesn't fit the narrative that's necessary for the content creation, which speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. So how is this showing up, James, in people's homes? And all right, I'm sure you have some input on this, right? But some of the things that I've been hearing out there is that I've been hearing women talking about this whole trad wife thing. And,
that's the other side of it.
Okay,
so you got manosphere and you got trad wife.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
I am hearing adults,
yes,
sometimes even women who are in retirement age,
okay,
right, talking about things like no longer are we going to continue on with this
the patriarchy.
Yeah, what our parents endured, our mothers endured. We're not going to take this anymore. You are in your 60s and 70s. What are we talking about here? Right. So it's telling me that men are showing up differently in their homes. I say differently because just, I don't know. I'm still learning this whole thing, man, but it seems as though men are either reading this stuff, learning of this stuff, and probably showing up differently in their homes where they're not taking responsibility, not showing up for their families or sharing in. I don't know what it is, man. Like, what's that?
Yeah. So in the documentary actually had people that were in relationships as part of it. And one gentleman in particular that was married.
Yeah.
No, he didn't marry her because, and he was asked why. He didn't really have a great answer, but when they talked to basically, yeah. And so what I saw in those relationships, Gerren, was a fragility of trying to keep the reality of who they were behind the scenes separate from who they were trying to be in front of the camera. And that dichotomy of life was creating so much tension for them that in one case, one of the famous podcasters that made a crazy claim about his relationship, by the end of the thing, the lady left him because he tried in a moment. I told you before I said, look, he froze up, like his brain went completely like, right. and he got caught literally in a situation where he got caught between his camera reality and his real life. And it didn't work out for him. Yeah. And that's what I see a lot here, Sprav. So it's this idea that everything in life has to be performative. How I look, how I think, the money I make or don't make. And if I don't make it, the imagery that I put out so that people don't know. The other thing is, I will say every single one of the guys that they interviewed, and I've heard this more broadly, same in the trad wife trend, they're all selling you something. Buy my vitamins, buy my course, subscribe to follow my investments. I make, these trades, mirror my trades and you'll get this and that. I mean, buy this coin I'm selling. It's filled with all of these other things that are absolutely the commercialist, the capitalistic things they're claiming to not be a part of, but because they're selling this life, people miss all the things that they're being sold. It's like when my kids, Gerren, come and say, James, Daddy, can I download this app? It's free. And I'm like, look at it. In-app purchases. In-app purchases. Like, there are in-app purchases required in this world, man, for you to be authentically in it. And that's part of the problem. Go ahead. You have something to say?
I was just going to say, man, I mean, I want to make sure that we touch on this thing for the ladies out there who are complaining about being in these relationships with these guys who act this way. Yeah. Right. It seems to be tough for them, man. And men are, or I don't want to just say just men, but people are quick to get down on those ladies for complaining about some of this stuff. But some of their complaints are legit.
Are valid. If you're dealing with a man who's stuck in this idea, this false pretense of what strength is and what a man needs to be. I hear so much in this country, like we have a loneliness crisis with men. And so men have to work and do this and do that in order to solve the problem. I immediately think to myself, man, oh man, oh man, this is where we've gotten so far from the ideal that when we see the ideal, we label it. If you see a guy helping a woman with no expectations, what do we call them?
Simp.
He's weak. He took the
Soft.
other pill. He's soft.
Yeah.
No woman's really going to want him.
Yeah.
And to my ladies out there, part of this is fed, I believe, by the bad boy imagery. The women that are attracted to these bad boys, right? To this idea that there's a little risk and this excitement and his life. I'm here to tell you, that doesn't age well.
That's a good one to saying it. Yeah.
It doesn't age well. So if you're looking for something long lasting, it doesn't age well. All right. That's the gift to you from the ladies. But back to how this trend can show up and affect relationships. If in the home, my identity is only determined by how I look to other men outside of my home, what is that going to look like? What does that look like? So is my loneliness because I don't have people around me, or is my loneliness because I'm struggling to find people who are willing to give me the feedback,
validation,
and the validation, because I've limited the people who can have an impact on my psyche to this big? Or it's only because of the number of followers I have, or the number of vitamin packets I sold, or I followed that influencer and I didn't make my $10,000 a day that I was promised to make. I lost money today. And so now, and there's nothing my kids, my partner can do to make me feel like more of a man.
Yeah. Yeah. Even as we do, can Catherine get online on this show? Because I'm
she
curious.
can unmute herself and she can pull the mic closer this time so we can make sure we hear you.
Can you hear me this time?
And push the volume up to, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh my gosh, guys.
You got something.
Get in. So our producer, our producer wants to say something.
Yeah,
so
go for it.
Go ahead, voice of God. Go ahead.
Okay. So I come from the younger woman's perspective.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because this is like my algorithm. I try to surround myself with nice stuff, maybe
horses.
like skincare. Sure, scenery and stuff. But then once in a while, I just get something bizarre, like, also I did watch that documentary.
Yes.
Background. It's just like, these girls are justifying like their man for the way they treat him. Because usually I don't see the previous video, but they always talk about a previous video. And everybody complains how, hey, your man is treating you wrong.
Right.
Why are you in that relationship? And then she comes on and like, this is my relationship. This is why you guys are single. Like, you guys just don't want to be in a relationship. And I'm just like, girl, he hit you. What?
So the idea of acceptance, right? It is a two-way street. You have men who are falling into this trap of what it means to truly be a man. This idea of strength and physical prowess and dominance over everything. It's like this dominion, this constant dominion over everything in their life, including the women. And then you have the women that may not be treated, to your point you just made, like may not be treated well, or maybe locked into this version of what they're supposed to do, the trad wife trend. Okay. And so they if their man is attacked, they feel this relentless need to go and justify their treatment by saying, you don't even have this. My man is respected. My man has prowess. Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at what he's provided.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, right? And again, she may not always be aware of what the man is saying when she's not around. But when she is and he's attacked, there's this I gotta now defend.
Yeah, my guy.
He can't defend. Note that. He can't defend. She has to defend.
What's your thought on that, Catherine? Come on.
That is 100% true. Yeah. You will never, ever see the man defend himself and be like, I did this because never. It's always the girl. And also would like to add that most of the men who are in that who are on those podcasts and even in the documentary, the girls that they bring on them show, they're OnlyFans.
And they're
girls.
paid.
And they're paid.
Correct.
But the people that they date are not a part of OnlyFans and are just, they maybe met at a club or something.
Interesting.
And so it was so funny, like you said, when she broke up with him afterwards because of what he said. And he literally was like, guys, don't hate her or anything. We just had our separate ways and stuff.
It went from confidence to something much lower than that. And it happened because of he went He lost it.
Yeah.
He lost it.
Yeah.
So this idea, this performative idea of what I have to be as a man is what Gerren and I are looking to challenge today. And so this is not an expose of that culture, but this is, you know, we're going to move to this, to the part of the conversation when we start talking about how we manage being a man in our homes. We're coming up to Father's Day.
Yep.
Probably a very timely conversation to have, but what does it mean to be a man in our home? Now, let's just start here. Let's just get the obvious out the way. Gerren, have you ever been called a simp?
No.
Okay.
No.
When you're at the gym, lifting the gym, is anybody calling you a simp?
No.
When you're traveling through the airport, when we go to a Cowboys game every once in a while and, you know, stay close in the proximity to the team and get mistaken for football players. Is anybody calling you a simp?
Not to my face. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I too have not been called a simp. Now, if it's him or me, I would get that, but neither of us have. All right. We both work hard at our physical for health reasons. We're at the age where it's not about only looks. Yeah. It's about longevity.
For sure.
But there's also another side to us that doesn't change an ounce of what we just talked about, which is how we show up.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into that.
Yeah.
Gerren, we had the conversation the other day where you described how your home works, and you described it in a way I would like you to share it with the audience.
Yeah. If I'm correct, because we've had several conversations on this, man, but between myself and the ladies in my home, we dance. Okay. And that's what I call we dance. What's needed, what needs to get done, is how we focus on things. It's not like, here are your responsibilities, here are your responsibilities. It's what needs to get done. And then people pitch in and get it done. Right. Now, I do laundry at times, right? I might do laundry multiple times per week. I go to the gym, so I use a lot of clothes, right? And when I do the laundry, my measurement of success, James, is to make sure it smells fresh, like when my wife does it. So we got the beads that we add to the...
Say it with some bass in your voice so people don't think.
So yeah, that's right. So I have to make sure that it smells nice and fresh. Okay. So I've watched my wife do it before. You know, she puts the beads in the washing machine, and then the right amount of fabric softener and so forth. And the load can't be but so high. There's so much to it, right? Because once it comes out, man, if she can't smell that nice fresh scent.
Yeah,
she ain't about
it. Don't let your voice get too high in this episode.
Yeah, sorry.
Speaking low. All right, so the dance, right? This dance. So same in my house, man. I called you a couple of days ago, man, and I was talking about, look, my wife's in school. You know, we got these kids and this going on, that going on. And I was like, look, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I've been cooking a lot more, trying to provide good meals, you know, at home for whoever's here, including my mother-in-law. And I'm like, I'm taking pride in this.
Yeah.
Why? Not because I'm a professional chef, man, but because of what you talked about. When she comes home, I'm an entrepreneur now. I have a little bit more flexibility. I can start my day at the office, finish at home. And so I balance my day to come home so that I can start the process ahead of my final meetings. While I'm doing emails and all the stuff that advance my company, I can also be advancing my household. And so when they come home and it's like, oh my gosh, Dad, what'd you cook for dinner? Everybody's excited. I go, everybody's eating. I go when I finish my work. Then I come back and eat. And that dance, man, that balance of being the provider of what's needed in that moment aligns directly to the belief that as a man, part of what we are designed to be is to provide. And it's just literally providing in a different way. But when I see the benefits of the stress and anxiety that's not passed on because I'm sitting at home with my feet up, or I'm out longer than I absolutely have to be when I could be home adding value, takes zero away from who I am as a man in my home.
100%, man. This morning I was in the gym and I texted my wife because I know that one of our daughters needed to go get their hair done or something like that for something that's upcoming. And I called her and I said, hey, before you leave to go to work, like, what does Madison need? What does Morgan need? How can I help throughout the course of the day? And she's just like, well, the appointment is this and this, man, it would be great if you could help, Gerren, and you can pick them up. Like, absolutely. I'll make it happen. And I took my laptop, took a book, parked in the parking lot, and I waited for my daughter. You know what I mean? Took my calls from there. So it's what's needed for the home.
Absolutely, man. And to say that it's not manly to do these things,
it's crazy.
Is absolutely insane. And I'll talk about why in a minute. But the idea that you're paying enough attention to the people within your home. I'm not just talking about your wife. I'm talking about your kids. I'm talking about anybody that comes into contact with your home. The fact that you're paying enough attention to now be able to take actions to address the needs, sometimes before they even fully the need fully manifests, is in my opinion, the definition of dominance we need to master.
Yeah.
Because it means that we are fully in charge and at the wheel of not only the house we're providing, perhaps, and the resources we're providing in the home to provide this life, but also over the emotions, the stress, the anxiety, the fears that ultimately rise up in our home because we're doing things actively to minimize that. What do you say to that?
Yeah. To that point, man. I mean, so that kind of like leans into this piece where women will say that men aren't wanting to be emotional. They're not wanting to talk about their feelings and, be emotionally aware and all that kind of stuff. I just want to provide. I just want to go out and work. That's one thing. Another thing is a lot of times men take offense. So when their wives or their significant other says, hey, they bring up a situation. Hey, man, I wish that you could help me out in this arena or do this. Oh, so I'm not providing for the family? I'm out here working, sweating, working late nights and da-da-da. And so now we put up this thing. And I remember back in the day, James, when I used to do that to my wife, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Well, I think we're all guilty of it. Yeah, absolutely.
But it was only when she said I can't even remember what she said to me, man, that made me think differently. There was something that we did together. We said, hey, I'm going to tell you some things that you may not want to hear, but please know that I love you. One. And then please know I'm not attacking you.
Yeah.
I just want to address the thing in the room. Can we both look at the problem together as opposed to thinking like I'm attacking you when I say a thing?
Yeah.
So that really helped me to have a better conversation with my wife, knowing that at a ground level, she loves me and she's not attacking me. Just listen, Gerren, and pay attention.
Yep. Absolutely, man. So this idea of what, this masculinity really looks like, this true dominance, not dominance in you obey, but dominance in I serve everyone. And I'm here to make sure that I have a full understanding of how this place ticks and making sure that I can add the value as much as I can in order to make sure this home runs as efficiently as possible. And so what I've seen as a byproduct, increase in my productivity, I find that I'm compressing time. So I'm not wasting time in the office because I feel like I have till 6 or 7 to be there. I got to be home to start dinner because Chris has a class tonight. Kids have to go here and there, and there are people doing that. So when everybody comes home, I want my kids to have eaten by X time, and I know Chris can't facilitate it. I want them in bed by this time, so they'll be ready for school tomorrow. So guess what? It's time for me to step up and do something other than complain about it. Do something to bring that into existence.
So that means you're part of the grocery list, right?
Absolutely.
Subtle things like that, man. Like, what's needed on the grocery list? Dude, what are you going to be making? What's the menu for the week? Can you contribute to that?
We go bodega style in the house now.
Okay.
So for those that live up north or live in cities where you don't have big kitchens and you have a lot of storage, there's a corner store typically nearby that you will stop in and get things on the way home, right? And it can be a more efficient way to shop because you don't have a bunch of stuff wasted and you're only getting what's needed. So we've moved to this style right now where there's a grocery store on the way home. So I'm asking usually by 10 or 11 in the morning, hey, what are we feeling like for dinner? What's in the house? What meats are here? What's still okay? Put it together. Stop by the Publix on the way in. Pick up 1 or 2 ingredients. Fresh tomatoes, fresh this or that. Go home. Boom, done. Simple, straightforward. Kids love it. Everybody knows. And then daddy disappears again. Where is he? Daddy's going back to work. Daddy's finishing his day. This was a contribution
to the
house. But there's work to be done.
No complaints.
None.
You know what I mean? You just do what you have to do.
Absolutely.
We dance. That's what I'm talking about.
And so this idea of this version of masculinity is something we want to get out into the public sphere. So I'm going to say something now because we're going to start a hashtag and we want you to share the things you're doing for your family with bass in your chest. So you're not a simp. You're not somebody that should hide in the corner. You shouldn't feel bad about the fact that you can throw down in the kitchen as well as you can throw down in the garage, throw down as an office. You can be a CEO, as both of us are, and still lean into this.
Quick thing I want to add on this trend. It could be used for young and old, and even people who are single. If you're single, show hashtag what you do around the house.
Absolutely.
Like, because girls are watching that too.
Okay.
Like, people forget.
Hashtag so what then? Okay. And say it with a little bit of spice. We want you to show what you're doing in the house proudly and boldly with the hashtag so what then. And the what then is to the people who might look at you and say you're something else. No, you can be in the gym, and you can be in the kitchen, and you can be the CEO, and we as men taking control of what dominance in life really looks and feels like. This is your opportunity to show that loud and proud. We want to get momentum behind this. We would love for this to go viral. Hashtag so what then? Get it going now.
Yeah. And I love it, man. And again, even as we're doing this, like, nothing changes in my life. Like, I'm still, like, I drop the ball sometimes where, my wife wants me to do something or was expecting me to do something, and we've worked well, on no more expectations, but let's set some agreements, right? And sometimes I drop the ball. And then I pick it back up. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's highs and lows, but at least she can depend on me and know that I'm paying attention to what's going on in the home.
100%. The fact that you acknowledge, hey, that didn't get done, executed the way I expected to, or I missed it. Look, we miss stuff all the time in the job, right? And we pick it up and we keep going. The same attitude needs to be in the home.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to move to a slightly more sensitive topic, but it's there's a so what here for the men out there. So for many men, Gerren, we not only want to assert dominance in our homes, over our children, over our wives, but we also feel like some things are just owed to us. Like, the meal needs to be piping hot when I get home at 6 p.m. And then, woman, you need to be ready to go when I'm ready to go at 9 p.m. or at 6 a.m. And my breakfast needs to be made. And here's what I've discovered. All right. For the people in relationships out there, right? You have to ask a lot less when you're doing a little more.
Sure. 100%. Wow. Yeah. I like that.
All right. You have to ask a lot less when you're doing a little bit more. So this isn't only a trend for the men out there. Hashtag so what then? I want the women to join in too. Because I want you to talk about the things you're doing for your man that's engaging in the dance at home. Some women, Gerren, don't know how to say thank you.
Oh.
And this isn't a criticism. It's not a knock, but it's a reality of that dance is two ways. That dance is two ways. That text of affirmation to your man when he's done something for you that you weren't expecting him to do goes a long way. Yeah. When he shows up at home on a harder day and you're ready to breathe life into him and speak life into him in a way that he wasn't expecting, that goes a long way. So this is a two-way street here that touches on every part of the relationship, from physical intimacy to emotional support. And so we need to brag on each other. We need to be able to look at this as our opportunity to run up the score on how we have lived and breathed into the life of the people we love.
Yeah, I like this, right? So you remember, I told you with our group chat, right, that there was a time when my wife, she came home and she was upset. You guys aren't, the house is looking like this and this and that. And she's going on, and I don't feel as though people are paying attention to what it is I'm doing, or I'm feeling underappreciated. That's the word that she used. Yeah. I feel underappreciated. Yeah. And I jumped in the group chat and I'm like, yo, Josie said she feels underappreciated. Okay. She was talking to the kids, but bruh, I'm going to look at myself and I'm looking around the house like, yo, what have I missed that my wife said or asked me to do that I didn't do? So I went on this whole rampage doing a whole lot of things, and I got it done within like an hour or two, James. You know what I mean? So these are things that I could have done. Right? So I did them, spoke to the kids.
Listen, so I'm going to go there. Yes.
Okay.
Because listen, go ahead, finish.
Because I remember when I told you went straight to the kids. So I spoke to the kids and I'm like, yo, this is how you can join in on this, right? We want mommy to come home from work and feel good about the day. The house smelling good. It looks good. All these things I told them. I pick up my daughter, bring her home from school. Hey, Morgan, remember the dishes. Yes, Daddy, I got it. We pull into the garage, the dishes. Daddy, you already told me about it. I got it. Okay. All right. I go into my room to take a nap because I did my thing. Okay, James. I come out from my nap. My wife is about to come home. I come out, dishes in the sink. My daughter's on her iPhone talking to her friends on FaceTime. No. I went ballistic. Okay. I went off in the house. I got loud. Okay. My oldest daughter calls my wife and says, I don't know what's going on, but Daddy's going off on Morgan outside, but I was going off. Needless to say, I told my wife exactly what happened. I said, yo, I was loud with the kids. I didn't like it, but they didn't follow through. 3 days later, James, my wife shoots me a text and she's like, yo, I really appreciate what you did. It made me feel as though I was heard and seen.
Absolutely.
She didn't just say thank you for doing what you did. She added the extra piece, which was, absolutely, it made me feel like I was heard and seen, which tells me now when I follow through, when the household follow through on what mommy is talking about, what, like she feels seen.
Absolutely.
So to your point where you're saying like women needs to get in on this, I want you to not just show appreciation, but like tell the man in your life why, like what is it they did and how it makes you feel, and like just give some more description, some more depth to it, man.
Absolutely, man. A similar situation where, girls picked us up and they didn't. And then one of them talked real spicy to Chris.
Yeah.
And I let it cool down. Chris went to the room and I was like, all right, walked in. And then I just walked beeline back to the girls' side of the house. And I said, hey, y'all come here. You were gracious. I'm a little bit more direct. I was like, hey, and I don't yell. I'm like, hey, never again will you talk
to who?
To my wife.
That's right.
This way. Period.
Let them know.
Okay. You will do anything you can to make this home a home that everyone is welcome to come in, especially your mother.
Yeah.
And number two, when we ask something of you, it's not an option.
Yeah.
Do it and do it now.
100%.
You aren't going to mess this up.
Yep.
For all of us.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. You aren't going to mess this up for all of us. And those moments I found build a bond with your kids too, because you're now showing them the lengths you will go to protect the peace.
Yeah. 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 And I love how you told them, like, you will not speak to my wife, right? Not mommy. This is now my wife like this. Yeah.
You're not, because upset mom affects everybody. Right. And so recognize, man, but again, this goes back to men, the dominance that we're supposed to have and what it's supposed to look and feel like.
Yeah.
Right. Showing up with strength and being physically fit is about protection. Showing up emotionally so that you can listen to your wife as having a hard day or step in and fill in gaps is about emotional support. You can be a good father. The idea of fatherhood in this country, especially with Black African-American fathers, is a misnomer. There are plenty of us showing up the right way, looking to build community and relationship with our kids and the communities we live in.
Oh yeah.
So there is no, there is nothing wrong with showing up this way. And again, we're looking to this movement for people to just start bragging. And I've seen a lot less important things go viral on social media for reasons far less than this. Let's start showing how we brag on each other. You don't have to be married to do this. Just start throwing all the things you do. For the men, take a picture of you folding the laundry.
Yeah.
So what then? For the women, show a picture of the text you sent your man and brag on him. Hashtag so what then? Let's support each other. And let's demonstrate that we know how to take the focus off ourselves, which is what this manosphere culture will tell us that needs to be done for men, so that other men can give us feedback. And let's show it for the people in our life that really matter, because we are exhibiting dominance in the best and most balanced way over everything that we've been entrusted with.
Yeah. Hey, Catherine, so check this out. So if you were to see a video, some clips from some single guys out there, right? Doing things, their apartment is looking good. I don't know, the tub is clean in their home, right? Because that's some place you can kind of hide away, right? What would that do for you? as you're looking at something like that?
Not gonna lie, I usually do. If I'm interested in a guy, I will look at their social media because they normally post like around their house. They sometimes post meals and stuff. And absolutely, I'd be looking at their house. If your place, I'm a clean person. I keep my room clean. Yeah. I'm not gonna be with somebody who also does not keep their room tidy or even their house tidy. I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, see you later.
Yeah.
But if I see like, oh, clean house, keeping it tidy. A lot of people do like Sunday resets.
Yep.
I do that too. Well, I do Friday resets, but I see that they're putting an effort to cook for themselves, take care of themselves, to not exactly go to mom to be like, hey, I want my girlfriend to do my laundry and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm personally not going into that relationship because I'm like, nah, that's just me living with my siblings. I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when I see that wonderful presentation, I'm like, man, that's a dream guy right there. Like, oh my goodness, like it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
It definitely shows a maturity, and so guys, this is not performative. This is an authentic expression of truly what it means to be a man in your home, in your relationship, in the environment, on the job. This applies to so many parts of life. And it's part of the gift that's been given to us as men to be uniquely wired to do this. And for women that are in relationships that are let's say non-traditional, like this applies. It doesn't matter. It applies in all phases, because what it does is it shows that your focus isn't on only yourself. Yeah. It's on the things that matter the most to you, the things you've been entrusted with, the things that you are proud to tell other people you have, but you are contributing in a way that's not just saying, I bought him the house, so I don't got to take care of it. Right. It's everything that's in the house also matters. Yeah. And you're showing up there too. Yeah. Yeah. Now, the one thing that you won't see me doing is walking our dog. Okay. I got a Yorkie. It's small. I've given him grief about that. Yeah. I'm too big to be walking. To be walking with the. Why you got to put your hand up like that? Because that's how I've seen you come to the door at your house. Like this. Like this, with the dog laying on his arm. I've seen. I don't have a dog. I can talk about this. So what? I'm not. So what then? Okay. Hashtag so what then? You and a dog. Hashtag so what then? You might draw some. You've drawn social media feedback that hasn't been. That's been unsolicited. I'll say it that way. That might draw some more of that. Anyways. So we're keeping it short today. But this whole concept of so what then. About leaning in and demonstrating how we are approaching this culture that's trying to rally itself around loneliness and all these other things. We're not lonely. No. We're just selfish. Yeah. And the more we can start to focus on others, magical things happen. Oh, yeah. And so we want to do that by allowing you to just start bragging on how you are loving and caring for people other than yourself. And do it in a way, the men you are in the gym, the bigger you are, the more powerful this example will be. So what then? Hashtag so what then? Men and women, run it up. We look forward to seeing all of the comments and the feedback from this effort. Sprav, how do you want to wrap this one up? No, just like that, man. That's it. I'm good. You're good. It's very clear. All right. So for those of you that are looking for an alternative to what life or what the current culture is telling you have to be, I encourage you to challenge that by showing up as a person with true dominance. And that dominance is based on how you are leaning in, supporting, loving, and nurturing the things that have been entrusted to you. This has been another episode of Beyond the Comfort Zone here on the Growth Mindset Network. We are always pleased to have you. Please like, subscribe, share, comment on all the platforms. Forward it to as many people as you know. All the men in your life that might have this the other stuff in their algorithms, flood their algorithms with this. This is not, there's no age limit to this. We welcome you in no matter where you are. We will see you again next time here on the Growth Mindset Network. Have a wonderful day.